Hello, 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 and welcome to the dark and seedy underworld of duct tape and daddy issues. I'm your host, Dee Dickens, and as promised, we have a double helping of yokel there. We have Mark back. I know you enjoyed him so much last week. Many have enjoyed.
I'm making a double penetration into the podcast.
Nice. Nice. But yeah, I've got him back because I knew instinctively that this episode, this chapter, I would want to hear what he had to say about it.
I have notes.
I am not even surprised you had notes.
And I got a bone to pick with you as well. I've got notes now. I have bones to pick with you.
Go on, pick the bone.
No, you need to read it first. And I'm going to tell you the moment.
A bone specific.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe we should kind of this picking the bone. Maybe when we get to the relevant bit, I should indicate by saying something like a boner or something.
Well, that would be very relevant to this podcast, wouldn't it? Mm. So yes, as was stated last week, Mark has made himself a lovely cup of tea because that would be his role.
Lovely.
He knows his role, cup of tea. So shall we crack on?
Absolutely.
So this week, because if you don't know how me and Mark met and how long I've known him and stuff, listen to last week's. It's all on there. This week's chapter.
Yeah, there was stuff that happened and it was funny and
we were great. You were great. I was great. We were great. It was great.
We were great, weren't we?
We were great. Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, it was great.
Absolutely marvellous. Right, for those of you who want to read along still, Duct Tape and Daddy Issues by Dee Dickens is available on Amazon. And we shall go on with The Elephant in the Room, which means I can also be rid of the next post-it note, which says, also Mark. I get paid to have I get paid to have sex on the phone with men. I say men. There is nothing stopping women from calling. I would bloody love it if a woman phoned up, as it happens. It would be the hottest thing ever. But alas, it has not happened as yet. We are.
Let me stop you there. But why do you think that is?
Why do I think women don't ring sex lines? Possibly because it's really easy for us to get actual sex if we want to, and we're not that fussy.
Okay. Yeah, it's just that, no, I mean, it's not like I'm not making a big issue, but I just think it's interesting, the demographics. I mean, I went down a different road to think, I don't think women are that stupid. I think, but also it leads on to another question that I was asked, or somebody raised many years ago and never really kind of got to the bottom of this, which is about gay men.
Yeah.
Gay men, sex, public toilets, cottaging, quite popular hobby at one point for many people. The lesbians do cottaging in?
Not in public toilets. No, we don't.
Right, okay.
But if we're in a club and a woman says, I'm just going to the loo. I'm just going to the toilets. Want to come with me? Then you know
you're getting
fingered up against the loo roll.
Well, who hasn't, to be honest with you, at some point?
But yeah, no, we do partake in toilet shenanigans and copulation, just not
again last week. Last week we mentioned about kind of academic papers. I think that's a tick. Another one.
Do you know, I might have to
cottaging.
I might have to do a second PhD, you know. I'm not even joking, because the stuff that comes out of this, it really is sometimes food for thought. I think as well, I know a lot of my friends who would never ring a phone sex line do watch porn and are great consumers of porn.
But here's the thing. Do you think that they're great consumers of porn because it's really easy to access it now? I mean, God, I remember when I was younger, you know, I'd save up, get your jazz mag, hope the pages didn't stick together. Do you know what I mean? It was just like
find it in a hedge.
There was no so find it in a hedge, which was traditional. That's this jazz mag has Sophie, its use is done. Shove it in the hedge. But do you think that it's because it's just really easy? You could just literally log on your phone, be on Pornhub in like 2 seconds, and away you go.
Give yourself a quick twiddle and then get up and finish the washing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like.
And also, I think as well, I think there would be room for gay women to have phone sex lines, but for straight women, we've already talked last week about how men are generally not that good at it unless we teach them. So can you imagine a bloke, you'd ring up and you go, hey, and the bloke would be like, oh, hey, baby, how you doing? I've got a really massive cock and I know what to do with it. And she's like, okay, yeah, okay, this is costing me like 40p a minute. Let's go for it. And he goes, yeah, you like that, don't you, baby? Oh, it's inside you. It's so big. Oh, dear, I've come. Yeah, no, happens to all men. No, it's not a big deal. It's not the same, is it?
No, I don't know. I think the whole gender thing amongst all this is really interesting.
I would be really interested to hear from listeners if you do. I mean, I can keep you anonymous if you need to. If you do, if you don't, and if so, why do you or why don't you? I would love that if you would like. We have an email address now. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you about the email. It's ducttapeandDaddyissues@gmail.com. Really nice and simple. Or DM me on the Twitters. God, I sound old, don't I? DM me on the Twitters. Send me a message on the Twitters or something. Yeah, let me know what you think. Because I'm actually really genuinely intrigued now.
Do you notice as well? Also, we got 2 sentences in before I completely derailed the whole thing.
Oh, right, that's why I invite you on. I love it. It's fine. Otherwise, it's just me going blah blah blah, isn't it? So where had we got to? It hasn't happened yet. We are where we are. This means that men wank at me while I talk to them, and the inevitability. There we go. That was a mouthful. That's what she said. The inevitability of that is the orgasm. I think that is why sex is never really bad for men. Even if it's mediocre, and I'm talking about like het men now, straight cis het men, right? Even if it's mediocre, they still get to orgasm. He may complain about her technique, her energy, or her refusal to do certain things, but it almost never ends with him having a sneaky tug while she goes to the bathroom, just so the whole thing hasn't been a complete loss. This is my hypothesis. This is also why sex is not always very good for women. Regardless of what they say about wanting to please women, men don't always make sure they orgasm. I know this is going to come as a shock to some of you, but sometimes it takes us a while, and you wanting to change position every 2 minutes because you saw it on Pornhub is not helping the situation. Here's a hint, fella. If you have to ask if she did, she didn't. Even if she says she did. Off you pop to the bathroom, take your time, take your phone. No, it's fine, honestly. I never need to ask while I'm working, though. It happens right in my ear.
Now, let me ask you this, yeah? How do you know? Now, obviously, I would take it as a guess. I'll be very surprised if you say no to this.
Go on.
I would say that 100% of your orgasms as part of your work are fake.
Oh, what, mine? Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely, because you're playing a role, aren't you? It's just like, you know. How do you know that they're not faking it with you?
Because...
Do you think anyone has?
No, I don't, right? And here's why, right? Because I am that good on the phone. Right? I know that sounds like stay humble, Dee, but no, I really am that good. The new company,
I'm really good. I'm good.
Oh yeah, the new company I've gone to work for, which is where I'm no longer Stella. I'm Sherry, age 47, white, and a brunette who's 5'6", and they build the whole persona for you. There's so many women on this website, right? And I went and had a look. I am the only one who has ever had any tips and has ever had any reviews left. And I have like 6 reviews and I'm barely on there. I am that fucking good. Plus, some of them will be like, you can hear them building up to it and then they hang up, because some of them are actually quite shy about coming on the phone. It's a private moment for them. So if it sounds like they've come, they have. They couldn't fake that.
That's kind of sweet, though, isn't it? About I gotta go now.
Oh, they don't. They just hang up, and I'm still going. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! That's a couple of minutes. That's a couple of seconds. I could have
a little automated message. He's gone off to come.
But yeah, so no, I don't think any of them have faked it with me.
I've faked an orgasm before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did, because it was just like, okay, this isn't working for me at the moment. But it was kind of winter, under duvet, stuff like that. So I just pretended to come and then made a big fuss about wiping up a patch on the duvet underneath that wasn't actually there. And going, oh God, this is never going to come off. Yeah. And it was just like scrunch tissue up. Bump. But if because you
it was just like, actually, I just want to go make a cup of tea and watch TV. And this is going on too long.
Well, the other thing is they're spending money. Now, we live in a capitalist society. And if you're spending money to have a wank, you want to make sure that you get your money's worth. What would be the point of ringing me up? And I'm good at keeping them on the phone. They may think they're only going to be on there 5 minutes, but I'll have them on there an hour, which is the other reason I know they're not faking it. Right? Like, I am very good at what I do. If you're spending all that money, you're going to damn well make sure you have a bit of a splurge at the end of it, aren't you?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm totally like that. Just a question popped into my head about, do you reckon anyone's kind of done pretty much what I done, which is, oh, I phoned, but I forgot Coronation Street's on there. Oh, you have come, just by brilliant. Let's go watch TV.
I did have a guy. The front door went. He thought he was getting away with like having a cheeky one off the wrist before his pizza arrived. The door went. He went and answered the door, got the pizza, put the pizza down, came back, and then we carried on and he finished. He said, hold on. I've just got to get my pizza. I'm just going to put a bathrobe on.
Oh, thank God for that. You put a bathrobe on.
Yeah.
Just like, because honestly, pizza deliveries, yeah. I remember, do you remember when The Guardian, oh God, that's so middle class, doesn't it? The Guardian.
Yeah.
The Guardian used to have this thing called anonymous job or something.
Yeah.
Where somebody would write what their job's like, but anonymously.
Yeah.
And they had pizza delivery. And the first sentence was, you see a lot of cocks. Never forgot that.
Oh my God. A lot of unfocused pepperoni is very much.
Yeah, I always kind of feel sorry for delivery people. Just like, oh, you must. I mean, people must kind of just go out, open the door, dressing gown open, and just have some respect. These are service workers.
Well, you remember the flat I had in Bristol?
Oh yeah.
He who shall not be named. The flat I had there, and I used to open the window in the bedroom just to have a look out and see who it was before I went all the way downstairs. The one time I forgot I was topless. You have never seen a postman run so quick.
What, upstairs or down?
Up the road. He ran up the road. Like, dropped the parcel and ran up the road.
Good God.
Yeah. Anywho, shall we get on to what men sound like when they're not faking it?
Go on then, that'll be fun.
Yeah. They all sound very different, some more different than others. For your delectation, and because, damn it, if I have to hear it, then you have to have an assault on your brain ears too. Here are some of the most unusual. Our first contender for weirdest sex noise is the man I call the elephant in the room.
Boner.
Okay, go on.
I read this chapter when I got the book, and then afterwards I went and watched episodes of The Living Planet with David Attenbrough, and when some elephants came on after reading this chapter, I literally said out loud, "Oh no, you've ruined elephants for me, ruined them." So anyway, carry on. But it was just like this lovely David Attenborough, and I'm thinking about this guy in your book.
Yes.
Not good.
I mean, I would say I'm sorry, but you know I'm not.
He's absolutely. If you apologised, I'd go.
I'm like, who and what have you done with Dave?
Leave meeting.
He is so named not because he likes to wear knickers when he wanks, but because when he comes, and bless him, he takes an age to do so. To be fair, he is in his 80s. He sounds like an elephant. A loud, angry elephant that lost his cartoon wife and son to poachers in a badly made cartoon. He literally trumpets his arrival in tones that sound scary, hilarious, and triumphant all at the same time. It is quite the thing. I find myself wanting to check if he is okay, ask if he needs an ambulance, or sing Savannah in equal measure.
I tell you what, you say about you're worried about him, like, you know, God, is he going to have a heart attack or whatever? Isn't it when they do first aid training, the CPR is Nelly the elephant went to town?
Actually, when I did my CPR training, you'll be pleased to know it was dum da dum da dum da dum dum.
Oh, the archers, that's nice, isn't it? That's lovely.
Absolutely. Oh, luckily, he only rings once a week, or I might finish him off for now. I do find myself wondering just how much man juice, that's his words, not mine, he produces while roaring, and I wonder what that says about me. It isn't the splat that I hear sometimes from younger men, which, for some reason known only to them, they think is the sexiest thing in the world. PSA, guys, it isn't. When I hear the noise of your baby gravy, again, hitting your keyboard, I am reminded of the sound of a seagull shitting on the promenade. There is nothing sexy about seagull shit. They love it though and get really proud like a puppy that's pooed in the right place and wants to show you.
Well, I tell you what, look, I'm a man in my 50s. Now, I know that your viewers and listeners will think, well, probably not your listeners, because listeners can't see your face, going, I can't believe that. You look in your late 20s at the very least.
Absolutely.
Right answer. But actually, as you get older as a man, your ability to produce the amount and to fling it reduces. Now, for ages and ages, I thought this was a terrible thing. It was just like that creeping, like, of old age. You know, that I don't know where. Yeah, let's use classical music. You know, The Planets by Holst.
Yes.
Saturn, the bringer of old age. That's what it feels like. Each time you come, it's just like dun, dun, dun. Anyway, but then I realised actually this was a benefit. Less cleaning up to do. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm busy, you're busy. Anything that can cut down the cleaning up time you've got to do. Well, you know, if you just get a little splat.
Well, honestly, I'm sure you're looking forward to the time where it's nothing but air. It just says
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just that you do a little one sheet does plenty. You know what I mean? It's just
Honestly, it'd be
like,
like a little penis fart.
yeah. I think so. I think when people think about like sex as you're getting older, actually, it just frees up more time for you, doesn't it?
Oh
It's kind of
yeah,
just like,
time is
um,
short.
I mean, like if you're in your 20s, just like fucking hell, I've got to fit in work today, 3 shags, possibly a wank. Then I've got to watch Netflix. Then I'm gonna get to bed, and then oh god, I've got work again and whatever. When you're older, when you get into your 50s, we're just like, oh, it's fine. I've got the sex earmarked on the calendar. 10 minutes Sunday afternoon, just like,
After
and
the
then
omnibus.
yeah, and we'll be you know, it's well in time for Antiques Roadshow and Country File. It's less sex as you get older means better scheduling. And to be honest with you, you know, who doesn't want better scheduling?
Absolutely. I think we should like claim the term dick fart.
Dick fart, yeah.
Dick fart. So when you get to that age where it just goes and
The
it's
first
just
time you do it,
there.
happy Dick Fart Day.
Happy dick
So
fart day.
yeah, I think as a gay really kind of on the asexual spectrum as well. I mean, I will say this. Your book's difficult for me because I spend a lot of time just going, how would that work? where does that go again? Why would they
What?
want
Why
to
would they
do
do
that?
that?
But yeah,
Yeah.
but I just think that as just but not just like straight men, straight women, bi,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, I think that when you get to your 50s, you should just reclaim your I can't be fucked to do it ness of
Yeah.
just like the actual kind of, do you know what? I could go out and get shagged, but this is cake that I want to bake. I just, you know, I think you really need to embrace that. And that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. It's just like,
Absolutely.
you know, I'm happy. I'm happy with just kind of, you know, whatever. What I'm saying,
Absolutely
folks,
agree.
is to get older, don't worry about their sex. I mean, get it when you're young, if that's what you want. If that's what you're into, get as much as you can. You know what I mean?
I think
But,
when you're
you know,
older as well, get as much as you want, but don't feel pressured to be at it constantly.
no.
Yeah.
We should have our own TV show, but breakfast TV or something.
Damn right.
It's Mark and Dee with our sex advice. It's just like, oh fuck it, just make a cup of tea and have a cake.
Make a cup of tea, have a cake, look forward to the dick fart. Yeah. So back to these young men who think that their spadge, their seagull shit spadge sounds amazing. They're all like, do you hear that, baby? That's all for you. Doesn't that sound sexy? And I'm like, are the straights okay? Like, no. I tell you what does sound sexy though. It's you saying you folded the laundry and put it away, or perhaps that you've cleaned the
Ooh,
bathroom. Oh yeah, baby.
ooh,
Scrub that toilet just how I like
ooh.
it.
Now you're talking.
The sound of an ironing board going up, that's sexy.
Ooh,
Nearly as sexy as the words, I love you, and I know that doesn't mean I own you or get to control you. See also, put your feet up, the kettle's on.
oh, I think I've dry.
You think your dick farted?
I think I've dick farted. Anyway,
Anywho, so other notables for the noises include the man I call Howling Wolf. And I know you've been looking forward to this, Mark. I know you've been looking forward to Howling Wolf. Oh, yes, it is exactly for the reasons you think. Not only does he howl when he comes, but as he gets more excited, he pants and barks. So, you know, like some men just go, not this one. Literally. Yeah. After he finishes, he does this thing that dogs do when they're happy, kind of a snuffle. Kind of makes me want to call him a good boy. I absolutely earn my money when he calls because I don't laugh at his whinnying when he is turned on. Howling Wolf calls on 3 nights a month. Guess which ones? Go on, guess. Oh, yes.
Full moon, days
Yep.
inside.
3 nights before moon. And he calls at least 3 times a night. I have listened to Howling Wolf do his thing and not sing Werewolves of London in response to our 9 bloody times. It is a difficult thing to do, but if it means a regular caller, then who am I to judge? Next month, I might introduce the idea of silver into it and mention the idea of swallowing his monkshood sap. I did research. I take things seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of werewolf law there, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I have a theory.
Tell me your theory on Howling Wolf.
I'm going to turn this on its head, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I think he comes silently. Have you ever had a dog that doesn't really know what's going on? Because don't they say that a dog is like the intelligence level of a 3-year-old child? Yeah. So 3-year-old children, excited, they feel the energy in the room and they get all overexcited, but they don't really know what's going on. Yeah. Dogs do the same, don't they? If you start going, hey, if you've got a dog, they'll be like, yeah, hey, what's going on? I think he comes absolutely silently, but maybe kind of moves a lot.
Yeah.
What you're hearing is the dog in the room trying to join in, getting all excited.
No, Mark, no!
Doesn't know what's going on. That's why you've got the panting and the little snuffling at the end. It's just like, it's poor little labradoodle. He just doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
I really hope not, because that would be illegal and I would have had to hang up on him. But oh no, generally.
No, I don't think the dog is involved in the actual thing. I think the dog's just in the room and just getting like, oh God,
getting all excited.
I just like, if you've got a dog and you walk to the door, they get all excited because they go for a walk.
Can I come?
Yeah.
I will take that on board. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to do with it. Luckily, I've got therapy again on Tuesday.
I'm glad I've really kind of well, hi therapist, more money for you. But when I read that, it was just like, what if it is just a dog?
Oh my God.
Because I think that's one of the things about your job.
Yeah.
Is that actually you have to kind of picture what's going on the other end, but you can't see it, can you?
No.
So it could be that there's like, because also as well, sometimes they may say, well, look, I'm 82, but they may not be, but they just sound it, whatever. So, and that's what I find fascinating, is the fact that you have to create this persona, but you also have to kind of imagine them into it because you can't see it. But then when I thought, well, maybe it's just a dog, I got really upset. It was just like, well, surely you'd put the dog in the other room whilst you're doing this. Okay, and just like... Yeah. I mean, actually, it made me sad.
I do know a friend of mine who had a dog that every time that he had sex, the dog would just like open the door and come in. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, get out. But yeah.
I knew somebody who had a ghost.
You had a ghost?
His boyfriend would be shagging, and they'd see like some kind of ghost figure at the end of the bed.
No, it was obviously just the sheets. It was just
apparently it was
with the eye holes.
It was like a shadowy figure would appear, and they just got to the point apparently where they just fuck off, we're shagging, and this thing would disappear. Now, whether they're making that up or not, I don't know, but I think that would make the basis of a good ghost investigation on Discovery Channel. Ghost shaggers.
Ghost shaggers.
Ghost voyeurs. Just like, but yeah, apparently that was so. It's not just the dogs. It's the dead.
Oh my days.
You think of it, if you're hanging around, you're dead, you're a ghost. Say, I'm not saying they exist or whatever, but if you were, you must miss shagging.
Oh God, I would.
Yeah, exactly. So you
Oh,
know, you might want to
definitely.
watch.
Oh, don't. I was round my friend's house with Phil and her fella. We were talking about what would happen when the other one dies and who dies first. It was one of those 3 a.m. we've all had a drink.
Cheery.
Yeah, like, yeah. And this guy, he said, no, Phil, you see, you'd be able to get yourself a new wife and you wouldn't be alone for long. And it's what Dee would want. And I'm like, hold on.
Fucking hell.
I was like, it's like you don't even know me. I was like, fucking isn't what Dee would want. You bring another bitch in my house and I'm going to be like, and he's like, that's more like it.
Going back to last week's episode, you know, said Wuthering Heights. Like, if you died first, Phil shagged somebody else. So Kathy at the window, you'd be like, fucking stop it.
Oh, I wouldn't be in the window. I'd be setting fire to the bed. I'd be doing a different book. I'd be like Jane Eyring that shit. I'd be like, oh, are you Bertha? Up you go in flames.
And then there'd be like Phil shagging, stuff goes up in flames, and in the movie in my head, I kick the door in, and I'm all of a sudden the power of Christ compels me. Because I think that would make a great movie as well. So
as long as you don't do it with a dick fart, that's fine.
Has this conversation got weird? Because this is what tends to happen.
This conversation always gets weird. Our conversations always get weird. Always. Yeah. So, talking of weird, one of my favourites is the squeaker. The sound he makes at moment of climax is an odd one to try to describe, but as I have had to hear it, I should at least try and share the experience with you. Some of this is very me orientated and very specific, but try and think about your own areas and your own train timetables. So imagine you're on a southern train from Worthing to Barnum at 7:36. Other crap, they should all come back into public ownership. Train services are available. You may adjust this for your own region. And you are listening to your favourite song on a lovely new pair of headphones. No one has sat next to or opposite you, and you have lots of lovely legroom. It is still early enough that the sun is yet to burn off the light mist over the fields as you trundle on your merry way. There may be a castle in the distance. Arundel in my case, but other castles are available. You might be pondering taking an early day and spending some time in a nice pub, reading the paper and doing the crossword over a pint and a sarnie. My point is that though it is early, you are relaxed and life is good. And I'm going to take a short break just to say how much I appreciate you acting all that out. Thank you. For those of you who can't see this, Mark acted out that entire scene so beautifully, so beautifully. Then you hear the tannoy on the train start up and it is faulty. Oh God, I've just realised this is just like I've just written an autistic nightmare. It has a ring to it like a feedback and it screeches into your very soul via the pathway of your inner ear. It is loud, so loud it actually hurts you, not in your ears, but in your very existence. Your zen-like calm is shattered and you wince, knowing that you will not get to finish early, that the damp air is going to play havoc with your asthma and that coffee is going right through you, but there isn't time to go for a wee before your stop. You're not sure you'll make it to the office. You are now close to the feeling you have when you hear the glass shattering, decibel bursting screech of the squeaker. I should have an alert come up on my phone so I know to put the earplugs in. Really, didn't think phone sex would need PPE, but there you are. Drum and bass combo. Chase and Status have an album. Oh no. No, that's it. That was the thing. That screech was that one, the squeaker.
I'll tell you what, I've got another theory relating to my previous one. Okay. How do you know that isn't Howling Wolf's dog with the squeaky toy?
No, we got to
I mean,
stop
I'm just
this.
saying. Okay.
We've got to
Okay.
stop this about Howling Wolf's dog. You're getting obsessed.
I dated a squeaker once, maybe not to this amount, but while sex was happening, they would kind of make a noise that was kind of like a squeak, but in rhythm with the bed spring. So it's like e e e like that. It's fine. But I looked at it this way, okay, just like they're I mean, thank fuck we weren't on a waterbed, because I think they would have made whale sounds.
Worse would have been dolphins.
But it was just like, I mean, I kind of, it wasn't a long cut, it was a little fling. But it did make me wonder, did they realise they were doing it? Or were they just kind of picking up the noise? And so, because it was weirdly at the same pitch and pace as the bed springs.
Like people who chew with their mouths open but don't realise it until you point it out.
Oh yeah, you've done that to me before.
I do it to everyone. It's my thing.
Yeah, no. I don't do it a lot, just chewing gum and stuff.
But it's like, but there's people who like do that, and you're like, you're making an awful lot of noise. Maybe he didn't realise he was squeaking.
Yeah, I think sometimes. I mean, like, I think of it in terms of your sneeze. You don't really think about what your sneeze sounds like. You just sneeze, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's only when somebody else knows. Apparently, I've got a dainty sneeze.
Dainty?
I will actually do the tissue.
Hi, darling.
But I don't realise I'm doing it, because when you sneeze, you're too busy sneezing to think about what does that sound like. So maybe that is the same thing. Maybe it's just kind of that something that they've got so used to.
I sound like a dock worker slobbering over a furnace when I sneeze. Nothing ladylike about my sneeze.
What is it like? Yeah, I'm very dainty, and also as well, I've got this weird thing. Well, I don't think it's weird. I don't know. But people, write in, people, tell me how weird this is. Where I would have a little sneezing fit first thing in the morning, where I'd sneeze like about 10 times, one after the other. It's normally about 10 minutes after I've woken up. I'm assuming it's because I've been laying down and now I know something's irritating, whatever. But I would do it like 10 times. Choo, 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 choo. And I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just weird, basically. I sneeze weird. And I sneeze like a Tudor woman, basically.
Tudor woman and the dock worker. There we go.
Green sleeves in the background, just like that.
With me, it's the banging of hammer on steel.
Brass bands.
Right, next one. Drum and bass combo Chase and Status have an album called No More Idols. On that album is a track called Hype is Hypes. It's fucking brilliant as well. As the kids would say, it's lit. In the introduction, a male voice shouts, Chase and Status, after which another male voice, who I can only assume is Temper T, says, Tempt. Go to YouTube and have a listen. I will wait. Did you hear him? That is exactly the same as the one sound that the RP guy makes in his moment of ecstasy. So the guy who shouts fuck, cunt a lot does that.
I've got to say, this is rare for me. I have nothing to contribute on this one. It just is what it is. I don't understand it. I don't know even what the guy is trying to say. It doesn't make any sense that in all of the run-up, he's going fuck, shit, whatever, that he should choose something that probably isn't really a word for the climax. It's just like this language, not language, just like, I got nothing on it. I just got nothing.
There is a bloke.
I'm looking forward to James. That's what I'm going to say. I'm looking forward to James.
There is a bloke called Dave who, when he comes, sounds like the ooh. You only get an ooh in Thai food.
Well, that's me off tea now. Thank you. Elephants, tea. My life is being ruined by this book.
Johnny shouts, Nelson Mandela.
Well, actually, I mean, when you think of it, I mean, Nelson Mandela pretty much kind of, everything he did to fight against apartheid, all those years he spent in prison. I mean, I think he is an absolute colossus of a man that really changed the end of the 20th century. So I think any chance we get
to honor
pay
him,
some kind of tribute to him should be taken. So well done,
applaud,
this guy. Well done,
Johnny, who shouts Nelson
well
Mandela.
done.
I have one who sounds like a chimp and one who sounds like he is gargling nails in yogurt. One who literally sobs in gratitude, and one who sounds like a cowboy lassoing a particularly difficult steer. But it occurs to me that I don't actually know what most of them sound like, as believe it or not, most of them hang up so I can't hear them. There is something intimate about having an orgasm in front of someone, a vulnerability, and that can be quite scary for the poor dears, I suppose. It is a shame, though. I pride myself on my work ethic, and I like to know I've done a good job, and listening to them come down the phone at least lets me know that I am indeed sexy enough. How fucked is that? I actually give a shit if Steve from Northampton has a good time.
Well, to be honest with you, so do I now. It's just like, I'm invested. And I think this is why this is such a good book, is that I'm invested. I'm invested in Steve from Northampton splattering on his computer keyboard. And it's just like, how did this happen?
This is probably why I'm the only one with any reviews.
How has it come to this? That's what I want to know.
Well, capitalism has fucked me over good and proper, unlike Steve from Northampton, though I am very good at making them think I've had a good time too. So now we go on to my fake ones. A few years ago, I was watching some lesbian porn, as I'm in the habit of doing. It's hot as fuck and gets me off very quickly. And there was a woman who actually, I think had an orgasm in it. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't yelling. She didn't actually sound like any of the other women I've heard on many other films I have watched. She sounded small, quiet, and authentic. It was sexy as hell. Still get a twitch when I think about it. Unfortunately, I lost the link to it when I changed phone, but it has left a lasting impression on me, and now it does on my callers. When I pretend, and I am definitely pretending, despite what my callers believe, to come for them, it sounds real. They love it. It's drawn out, so it keeps them on the phone for longer. It's quiet, so it doesn't wake anyone up if I'm doing a night shift, and has a very long, deep breathing recovery period. This just makes them think it was real, and they spend money to just listen to me breathing. If they want to spend money to hear me sound like I've been running, then I'm not going to try and stop them. As I've said, the longer I'm on the phone, the fewer callers I have to talk to on my shift, the less likely I am to get Alex, and the more money I make. One bloke thinks he made me come 3 times in a call. Bless his heart. I had to log off for 10 minutes so I could laugh 3 times, ask you.
See, I mean, I'm jealous. I'm jealous in a way because you are literally having people paying to hear you breathe. Yeah. I'm paid in my job to do fuckloads of work that's really tiring. Just like, and you just sit there and breathe, and you're being paid the money for it. It's just like, this is pure capitalism, and it's purest.
Absolutely. This wonderful fake orgasm gets me regular repeat callers too. I just have to say one small sentence. I'll say it in the voice I use on the phone.
I'm getting closer.
Oh my God. That never, ever happens.
Oh, that's
you usually
funny.
have to pretend to come. Oh my God.
That's so cunning. It's genius.
Oh yeah. The suckers lap that shit up. Seriously, Steve, just Steve from Northampton, if you could make a woman come just by telling her about your shag at a sales conference, you would not need to be ringing me. Ditto the the built men who tell me they have 10-inch cocks. Of course you do, Petal. Of course you do. I believe you, honest. I do like my callers to have a good time, but for me, sex work is just work. I don't do it because there's something lacking in me, either publicly or privately. There is work, and then there is my private life. I'm a freak in the bedroom there too, but that is a whole other book. Ne'er the twain shall meet. So no, I didn't orgasm, not even once, though I will sound like I did. In the interest of full disclosure, young Stella and Granny Stella have similar cum noises. They are both quite understated, but Granny Stella has a touch of vibrato in her ooze, kind of like when your nan's singing Onward Christian Soldiers or something.
Oh, you've ruined that for me now.
They do, though. When old women get old, they sing like this with vibrato in the... Yeah. It's very different.
So
Go on.
Granny Stella and young Stella sound the same when they come.
Similar, but Granny Stella's got a little bit of vibrato to it.
Think it's genetic.
Do I think it's...
Oh yeah, shit, these people aren't real, are they?
No, they're not.
Forgot.
This makes me happy. As a writer, this makes me happy.
I mean, I'm already, I mean, like, this is, I think, where you've drawn people in, because I've literally written down, would like to know more about Steve Shed.
Oh, you will get to know more about Steve.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I'm invested in the Shed now.
Let me have a look. I don't know that.
I think me and Steve will get on well.
Oh, Danny was the other one that was.
Oh, Danny, yes.
Danny with the mother-in-law fantasy. He's another one I'm looking forward to. And he will be appearing next week. And guess who I've got next week?
Who?
Lexi.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Lexi, you're in for a barnstormer.
Oh, yes. So, yes, like your nan singing Onward Christian Soldiers or something by Roy Orbison. I mean, I say that quite safely because I've never had any grandparents, so it's fine. It is very different in tone and volume to how I actually sound. And I think Great Aunt Stella would approve of that, especially as she was served with a noise abatement order more than once. More than once, she invited the server to join in the noise and merrymaking. More than once, they did. One of them didn't leave for 6 months, and when he did, it was to set up a sex cult in Surrey.
Because you've got to have a hobby.
You have, haven't you? She did him a favour. An addendum. I just told one of my callers all about Great Aunt Stella, about the 15th birthday party and how she was a great influence on my life. Honestly, talking to them sometimes is like practicing your stand-up routine. It's great. It became a conversation on how the patriarchy enables slut shaming, and that is why you can't find a woman like me in the real world. He got it that women should be able to enjoy sex on their own terms without judgment from anyone. He promised me that he would no longer allow slut shaming to take place in front of him. I feel I'm improving the worldview of people who call sex lines one conversation at a time. I also introduced him to his own arsehole. He'd never been rimmed before, so I got him to lick his finger and stroke his arse so he could imagine it was me. He really got into it. Honestly, I've never heard anyone groan like that at a wet finger before. It would seem I liberated James in more ways than one, and toxic masculinity cast aside for a glorious moment. I left him 3 fingers deep and sob coming. Viva la anal! And give us sexual autonomy or give us death may not sound like great slogans, but a revolution is necessary if we're going to end the war against women. And let's face it, who would rather go and oppress people than have a massive prostate-based orgasm? The end of that chapter.
Wow. I'll tell you what, and also as well, I mean, I just, people that know me, I read a lot. I read a lot of books in a year. In fact, I've had to recently hire storage for the books that I haven't read yet. So I'm going to have to go in storage whilst I catch up because I just buy books all the time. It's the first time I've read a book where the cliffhanger is prostate-based orgasm. That's how you finish the sentence.
Isn't it?
Just
Isn't
like,
it?
Boom.
Prostate-based orgasm.
But I think also as well, I think, funny enough, I know some of my straight male friends secretly do like to pop finger up.
Some of them do love a cheeky finger.
Yeah.
They do. Oh, very much so. And I'm all about introducing men to their own arseholes.
When this has come up in conversations, they've been really kind of like, don't really talk about this, don't they? It's just like heterosexual men, just loosen up. If you want to put your finger up there, put your finger up there, because it's the 21st century. You're not harming anyone because you're doing it to yourself. Just let go a little bit.
I have a friend of mine, a male cis het friend of mine, who loves a good pegging, and his partner refuses to have anything to do with it. So it really is. It makes me really, really sad. He actually goes round to his exes a couple of times a year and has a good session. And as she puts it, I dress him up, spank him, and fuck him to within an inch of his life, and he loves it. Now, think how much better he would be if his girlfriend would, because I think the patriarchy's done us all over on this, all of us, because there are women who are like, just no, I can't do it, couldn't do it, and you're like, go. If you really don't like it, then you don't like it. But
I think also as well, if you're in a relationship, sex is always about kind of boundaries and compromises. Sometimes those boundaries are not going to be exact to each other.
And it's an ongoing conversation too.
Yeah, and it does evolve over time, doesn't it? Sex does evolve. You're probably quite asexual. I do like a cuddle with a guy though. If anybody wants cuddle,
I can attest to the fact that Mark does give a good cuddle.
But I mean, I think over the life of a relationship, sex changes, and sometimes it actually gets more intense, and sometimes it doesn't. And certainly, people that I've spoken to, what I did not have spoken to about it, I've probably spoken more about Steve Shedd than I have about my friends' sex lives. But you do have to start getting a bit creative, because I think if you just do it the same, like you said, what you don't want is literally within one session, they've tried out 20 sexual positions that they saw on I just like to say on Netflix, on Pornhub.
Or for those of us of a certain age, read in More magazine.
You also don't want the same position for 20 years.
No.
So it's got to be kind of hey, let's give this a try. Let's give this a try. And some of it's going to work, some of it's going to not.
Yeah.
But I still can't believe that you are paid to breathe. And I've got a to-do list as long as a Leonard Cohen song tomorrow.
Tomorrow I've got to redo the bleach in my hair because I'm graduating on Monday, and write a couple of poems, and then maybe do some phone work for a couple of hours. I mean, I say
I
write a couple of poems like it's nothing, but it is for a PhD. So I do have to put some.
I don't know. Again, if anybody from my work, which I'm not going to mention,
No, we haven't.
is watching this, I do love my job. I do. I just like moaning about the workload, and that's part of why I enjoy it. Is that I get to have a good moan up about fucking hell. How am I going to get that done today?
Yeah, and next time you feel like that, you'll be able to think, and Dee gets paid to breathe.
He gets paid to breathe, and I wonder how Steve's getting on with his shed.
Honestly, I will let you know how Steve gets on with his shed. I will
introduce Steve to his arsehole, because I can see a whole chain of events that ends up with me cuddling Steve in his shed. So
righto. On it. On that note,
yeah.
I have been Dee
Yeah.
Dickens. This has been Mark Evidon. You lot have been the wonderful audience of Duct Tape and Daddy Issues. Don't forget to follow us on the socials. Interact with us. We love it. Next week, I have got the incomparable Lexi.
Yay!
Incomparable, who once, when a guy walked up to us in a Chinese restaurant drunk and said to her, "Oh, I want to fuck you," her response was, "Thank you, dear boy, but no." So this tells you kind of what you're in for.
Remind me, when Lexi's been on before, has she mentioned that she's really into Lucifer? Because she hardly mentions it.
She hasn't mentioned it. She hasn't been on before yet. This is her first time.
Oh no, of course, that's why I've got no memory of her previous episode. Because there wasn't one.
No,
so,
there wasn't one.
Yes.
But no.
Anyway.
Yeah, she does like a bit of Tom Ellis. I'm sure he'll come up.
A bit. I'm pretty sure there's going to be restraining orders soon.
Oh, don't. Why do you think she's moving to Wales? The lad's from Cardiff. His parents still live in the diff.
Yellow Pages, solicitors.
But yeah, if you fancy donating so I don't have to be paid to breathe as often, because I have got a PhD to do as well, we do have a Patreon, and it's I think it's D Dickens Poetry. It's patreon.com/D Dickens Poetry. I will work out what the tiers are when people tell me what they want for the tiers. I'm just so relaxed about it.
Put your hand in your pocket and pay Dee to breathe.
Yeah, pay me to breathe and shape my mouth into these wonderful words as I do so. So yes, next week, Lexi, this week again, Mark, thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
I've had a whale of a time with you. And
it's always fun, isn't it?
Make good choices and stay sexy.